Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Matt with Blue Razor Gaming. Today we're going to be looking at weapon mods, crafting, and armor mods and crafting. A more in-depth look at them. So that way if you're trying to get a better weapon, get those different attachments, by knowing how to get them off of old weapons, finding them on new weapons of the world, kind of moving everything around, and getting what you want. One thing to look at first would be the perk tree, because to be able to get these materials for weapons mods, you're going to need certain perks. So the first one would be Scrapper. The first part of it, you're going to need this. You can always salvage uncommon components like screws, aluminum, copper when scrapping weapons and armor. Screws and different materials like this are extremely important. Next, you're going to make sure you need to be investing in gun nut. If you want to obviously modify your weapons, you're going to be able to get higher ranks in gun nut to be able to do more and more with your weapons. Same thing with armor. If you're doing anything weapons crafting with your armor, you're going to need these as well. And then if you want to go into the tech side of it, like doing things with laser weapons or modifying your power armor, I would start investing in science. The more you do in these trees, the better stuff you can do. And if you are doing melee weapons, you would need to invest in blacksmith. I'm only doing armor and weapons, and a little bit into my power armor too, so I'm going to start investing more into science. Alright, so what can you do? If I can kick my companion here off the workbench, let me get in here. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can turn pretty much any weapon into almost anything that you want. You just need the right materials. And keep in mind, like, say you're wandering around and, like, I found this suppressed hardened submachine gun. You know, it's good to scrap stuff, like I said. Like, you scrap this here and look at get you some screws, get you some copper. These are things you need to build, so you scrap it. But keep in mind, like, if I were to go scrap this, 4 screws, gears, steel, wood, aluminum, that's nice and dandy, but it's got a suppressor on it. I might want to use that. So one thing you can do is if you find weapons like this, and like maybe I've got my irradiated submachine gun, which is a legendary item. It does an additional 50 points of radiation damage. That's pretty nice, but look at it, doesn't have anything on it. So, just because I found this doesn't mean it's not done. Let's go over to here and take the suppressor off. So now you get this, and this is one simple thing you do, is just moving around your materials. And I got an achievement too. So now let's go over to my radiated submachine gun here, and there you go. This, I mean, that's how simple it would be to just moving stuff around, and then also, you know, increasing the drum size. And these all use materials, and with the crafting system, whatever you pick up, if you pick up fans, if you pick up toy cars or whatever, this stuff will break down automatically to what you need when you go to break it down. You just need to make sure you put it into the workshops. So that's one way you can do it, is taking weapons, taking mods off of previous weapons and moving them to another one. Or taking, like, say, this automatic laser pistol and be like, man, that thing would be awesome as a rifle. Okay, you know, because you have points, say you have points invested. I'll pull up the perk tree, because there are damage perks, so maybe you have a lot of points in commando, where you're, you know, you get this thing filled up, maxed, and you do double damage with automatic weapons. Okay, and with rifles, this would count for that too. So you want this thing to be, you know, turn it from a pistol, but you don't do any extra damage with pistols. Come over here, and there you go. You're turning it into, right there, it turns into a laser rifle. Do that. And then you can even go as far as, like, this one's an automatic. Now you can change this different ways. You could change this to a rifle only. Like if you were doing, if you had points into the rifle side of it, extra damage. There is even a sniper one. We're going for extremely long range, and if you look on the left hand side under damage, it's going to be going up. And now things with this stuff you got to consider too is weight. I mean, most of these mods, when you're doing more and more to them, especially the receivers, it is increasing weight. So right there, we turn a pistol into a rifle. We've shown how to move stuff around. And now, also, if you just wanted something off of a weapon to use for later. So let's look here. So let's say this like hunting rifle right here. I wanted to save that barrel for later, and I want to scrap this. You don't have to use them right now. Go in here if you don't have something to put on it. Build this, and now that long barrel that was on there is actually sitting in my inventory as a mod now. So it automatically builds up. And see, when I had one already, but it added a second one in here. So you can take the things off before you either go sell them or break them down if they're things you want to use for later as well. That is another huge component. And then you can turn pretty much anything up there. So I've got this right here, this Relentless Hardened hunting rifle. I had already pulled some mods. I've got a lot of hunting rifle mods. So let's see what we can do with this thing. So I pulled these mods in. Or that long barrel we just pulled off, we can pop on there. Stock, get a little bit more accuracy. I had one of these in my inventory already. This thing's already looking pretty good. And then also keep in mind too, with receivers, there's hardened frame, it's going to increase damage. You can actually change the calibers at some point too. If you want to go a smaller caliber, you could, if you've got a lot of ammo for that. Or if you want to turn this into a beast rifle, 50 caliber. You got a lot of ammo for that. I mean, you got to keep in mind with a sniper rifle, you're also not using a ton of ammo. So going a 50 cal, even if you only got 100 rounds, it's going to do some massive damage increase. You're going from 73 to 102, just like that. And let's see here. And you can add scopes onto everything. By adding a scope, is going to allow you to actually turn into like a sniper. I don't have any of these right now, but just play around with it, guys. And it's true for the some machine guns too. And actually, I think I had a rifle up here. Yeah, this rifle right here. So this thing, it doesn't look like a whole lot right here. You start modding this thing. Where's it at? There you go. So let's see what we can do with this weapon. It's got a huge magazine, stock. I got glow sights on it, but maybe I want a reflex sight on it. Let's go ahead and build that. And see, like, these are all mods I've pulled off of my weapons. Like, I either created mods and then the other pieces go into my inventory, or I've pulled them off purposely before I go sell the weapons. But you can do a lot with these weapons. Let's see your inventory, weapons. Let's check out that new one I just made. So I just turned that little rifle. Now look at this thing. This is a 45 caliber weapon. This thing is going to do work. It's got a longer range. There's ways to control the recoil. I've got commando, so I'm upgrading. I've got the increased damage. And same thing with this. This thing was a short little stubbed hunting rifle. I have, like, it looked like this. So you start off with this little tiny rifle. Now you get yourself a full-on sniper. It's got the scope on it. And all this can be done the same for the power armor and the armor crafting as well. So play around with the weapons. You can literally do anything. But like if you come in here and you see that you want like the suppressor off of this gun or a different gun, go pull it off. And then you can go and break them down for more materials to do more modding. So like I got this hardening submachine gun, I took off the suppressor, break it down for a whole bunch of very useful items, just like that. Or you can take it over to the vendor and sell it. Hopefully this wasn't too confusing. Hopefully you learned a little bit about making sure that you can swap things around and don't just discard everything and think you can't use it. You know, save those mods, throw them in a case, use them for different things. It's what's gonna progress your damage output in this game and keep it interesting. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comments.